Today, we're talking about sofa ideas for big living room and how you can use each one in your home. The five sofas that we're going to discuss are the pit sectional, U-shaped, classic L-shaped, curved sectional, and then using two large sofas. We're going to talk about the pros and cons of each one. I'm Nikki D, and I'm your go-to resource for design inspiration, furniture, and decor that's going to make your home look like you hired a designer. Be sure to subscribe so you get future bell notifications. Let's get right into it. The average person keeps their sectional for 8 to 10 years, so we have to make sure that it's durable and stylish. We want it to last so that we can create beautiful memories in our home. It's a very important decision. It should not be rushed, and it is an investment. Sofa number one is going to be the pit sectional. This is also known as a modular sectional, a movie theater sectional. It's going to be spacious, and plus, it's one of my personal favorites. It's the ultimate for relaxation, and it's really going to transform the look of your living room. It's perfect for movie nights, for game nights, for sprawling out with loved ones. If you're the hostess with the mostest and you like to entertain, this is the sectional for you. The pit sectional is like an oversized bed. It's going to have modular pieces that have sectional clips that can clip into place. It's going to consist of the corner pieces and then the armless sections plus the middle ottoman sections. It's going to have more of a modern contemporary look depending on the fabric that you choose. The ottoman is great because it gives you the flexibility of using it as a coffee table or a footrest. You can also take those ottomans and move them out into another room if you want to create more of a U-shape or L-shape arrangement. If you place this in the center of the room, it's really going to define that seating area and create intimate conversations. Let's talk about the pros and the cons. Obviously, we're going to have seating for a lot of people, which is great for large groups and families. It's going to be cozy and intimate because literally you're all able to like sit and relax. Think about back in the day when you had the sleeper sofa that was in the living room and your mom would let you pull it out for movie night. You'd have popcorn. This is ultimately the same situation, only you're going to always have this out. It's going to be versatile. So because it has the modular pieces, you'll be able to move those around. It's good if you plan on moving in the future because the modular pieces can be taken apart. Some have the built-in storage options in the ottoman where you can store toys, blankets, and other decor. And then it's going to have this luxurious feel to it, a high-end impressive look, especially if you choose like a velvet fabric or a boucle or one of those soft, luxurious fabrics. The cons is this sofa is large and in charge. It is going to dominate your space. It is massive. So you definitely have to measure. They're also difficult to rearrange. So if you move and you have a new space that's smaller, it may not fit. Cleaning can be challenging because it has deep crevices with all of the different pieces. So you're definitely going to want to look into performance fabric like Krypton, Revolution, Sunbrella, because it's going to make it an easier process if you do have a spill or an accident to clean up those messes. It is a costly investment. The pit sectionals can range anywhere from on the low end, $3,000, but these can go up into $10,000. So they're very costly investment and a piece that's going to be in your home for many years to come. It's not ideal for small families or people who live alone because it's massive. And if you don't need all that extra space, it doesn't make sense. Number two is going to be the U-shaped sectional, which is essentially in the shape of a U or a horseshoe. This is great for movie nights, for family gatherings. It is plush, it wraps around. It's going to offer plenty of seating, great for conversation. It can have sectional pieces with arms at the end, or it can also, some of them have double chase sectionals for lounging, which is the ultimate relaxation. So the pros of the U-shaped sectional is going to be plenty of seating. It's not going to feel crowded. It's going to have a cozy, intimate atmosphere, versatile configurations. So if it has modular pieces, you'll be able to rearrange those. Multiple conversation areas. So whether you're directly across from a person or at an angle, and it ultimately is going to be the focal point of your living room because they are, again, just like the pit sectional, large. The cons is going to be the space requirement. So this is going to demand a lot of space. So if you have a smaller space that can't accommodate this, it's going to feel overwhelming and it's not going to work. You have limited arrangement, so it's less flexible, especially if you don't have the modular pieces, because you're literally going to have three large sectional pieces. There are also going to be traffic flow disruptions because you have the U shape, so there's no way to walk. You don't have a clear path to walk directly through. Once you get into the middle, you're either sitting down. If you have a coffee table in the middle of it, you want to make sure you have 15 to 18 inches so that you can walk around that coffee table. So the size of the coffee table can sometimes be a challenge. Let's talk about sofa number 3, which is our L-shaped sectional. This is the classic, tried and true. It's great because it's just two pieces that can go into a corner if you're trying to maximize your space. If you have a large living room, you could place it in the center and have a sofa table behind it. It's a popular choice for living rooms because it provides more seating than the traditional sofa. If you go with the modular L-shaped sectional, you can configure it in different ways. If you go with just the two pieces, you'll be locked in with less options. Let's talk about the pros of the L-shaped sectional. It's going to have maximized seating, great for a lot of people. It is space efficient, so you can stick it into a corner to maximize your square footage. It's versatile, so it can be customized into different options and layouts. It will create a cozy atmosphere. There's a variety of styles, so you can pick different arm styles depending on if you want a traditional or a contemporary look. Some L-shaped sectionals also have storage options, so you might have one of the components lift up, or you have spots for electronics. You can have motion L-shaped sectionals, which are fabulous as well for anybody who wants a high-tech vibe. Let's talk about the cons of the L-shaped sectional. It is going to dominate the space. You're going to have limited flexibility if you do not go with the modular option because it's two large pieces that you would then have to figure out how to reconfigure in a new location if it doesn't work. There's again a traffic flow disruption, so people have to walk around it. If you go with the chase option, some styles of the L-shaped layout have where it's an ottoman piece that can be moved to either side. So you can choose if you want it left facing or if you want it right facing. Again, it's when you're standing facing your sectional, whatever piece you want to stand out, that is the side that you would say. So for number 4 is going to be the curved sectional. These are beautiful, they're sophisticated, they're elegant. The curved design has softer edges than your traditional L-shaped or U-shaped. So it's going to encourage traffic flow because people are literally gonna walk around the edges of the curved sectional. So some of the pros of your curved sectional: it is visually appealing. It's going to add a touch of elegance and sophistication. It's really going to stand out. The curved sectionals also come in multiple pieces. So you get two pieces that form the sectional. Some come with 3. The modular ones, there might be multiple pieces. It will promote conversation because you'll be facing a person on either side of the curved sectional. It has space optimization. So if you have an awkward corner, it might fit perfectly and just mold into that corner to maximize your square footage. The cons are going to be limited placement. So while I said that it could be placed in the corner, it's not going to fit exactly in the corner the way that an L shape would. So you're going to have that gap in the back and lose that space. So you might put a lamp behind there, you might put a plant or something. It's going to have less flexibility, so rearranging the pieces is not going to be as easy if it's not a modular sectional. The curved sectionals tend to have a higher cost, so keep that in mind. It is going to be more of an investment. Sofa idea number 5 we have is just using two sofas opposite each other instead of any of the sectional options. This is going to have more of a traditional or transitional vibe because it's going to be a symmetrical arrangement. It'll look sophisticated and elegant. It's going to encourage conversation because you're going to be directly facing opposite another person. It's going to create distinct seating arrangements, so it'll really define your area. If you want extra seating, you can have your two sofas and then place two chairs opposite it or ottomans, and that'll create that U-shaped layout, but you'll have traffic flow because you won't have anything obstructing the path. It's going to maximize your square footage without sacrificing that connectiveness. This layout is perfect for entertaining in larger groups. It's wonderful if you're hosting a book club or if you're having a game night or having family over. The pros are it's conversation friendly, encouraging intimate conversations, flexible layout, so it's more adaptable. So you can add chairs to it. You'll have your coffee table, more options with the coffee table. You can do nesting coffee tables. You can do square coffee tables in the middle or rectangular coffee tables. That seating area will really be defined with your rug and the way that you arrange your sofas. If you have to move, you'll be able to take the sofa and maybe put it in one room and then have another one in the basement or a different location. And so there's a little bit more options of separating the pieces. Maybe you sell one. We're going to have improved traffic flow because the center space is going to be open with a walkway so that you don't get stopped at the end like you would in a U-shaped or a pit sectional. It's going to be visually balanced, so it'll be symmetrical. So that's aesthetically pleasing, calming, soothing. Having two sofas that are the same or even different, if you want an eclectic look, it's going to create a grand statement and focal point. The cons, it's limited for TV viewing. So think about it, if you have your two sofas and you have the TV in front of you, you're either going to be turned to the side or you have to be laying down to enjoy the TV. So it might not be ideal if this is a room where a TV is going to be the main activity. It's less cozy than a sectional would be for small groups because you have the separation. So things to consider when choosing a sectional sofa is going to be your room size and layout. Just always make sure that you measure carefully, do a floor plan. You want to make sure that your sectional or your sofas are going to fit comfortably in your space, which I have a link that I'll put in the description on how you can measure your space. You want to consider the configuration, the layout of your design, your seating needs, the traffic flow, functionality. You want to think about the style and the aesthetic. So what kind of material do you want? Do you want velvet, leather, performance fabric? Do you have children? What does your lifestyle look like? The comfort factor, think about the cushions and the springs that you're going to choose. You also want to think about your budget and the price that you're willing to spend. Many of these sofas can cost a few $100s up to thousands of dollars. And that, my friends, is a wrap. So to recap, the sofa ideas for big living room is your pit sectional, your U-shaped, the classic L-shaped sectional, curved sectional, and then two large sofas. One that's best will depend on your design style, your needs, and your preferences. Remember that good design takes time, so don't rush the process. Always measure your space and plan out your design. It's an 8 to 15-year investment, so we want to choose wisely. I hope these sofa ideas for big living rooms was helpful. Give it a like if it was. Be sure to subscribe and leave a comment below on what you'd like to see next. Have a great day and happy designing.